Hey, Abbott, what time is it?
It's time for the Abbott and Costello Show. We're on the air for ABC here in Hollywood.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go with the Abbott and Costello Show.
Never mind that. How did you meet this girl?
She wrote me a fan letter. She fell in love with my Sam Shovel detective character.
Are you still getting fan mail on Sam Shovel?
Sure. Just listen to this one I got today. Dear Lou Costello, I listen to your Sam Shovel detective program every Wednesday. I haven't missed one of them. I've been trying to run into you for weeks now, but I just can't seem to find you. I'm coming to the studio tonight and certainly hope I get a chance to run across you.
Mr. Costello, there's a guy outside says he's just dying to run into you.
Well, have him come in.
I can't. He's driving a 10-ton truck.
Oh, never mind him, Costello. What have you chosen for your Sam Shovel detective story tonight?
Well, it's a case I worked on during the recent cold spell we had here in California. I call it the case of the man who burned his sweetheart's body in the fireplace, or I've got my love to keep me warm.
Oh, shut up, and let's get on with the case. Come on.
The makers of Smudge Pot cigarettes present the adventures of Sam Shovel, private detective. But first, a word about Smudge Pot cigarettes. You can easily recognize Smudge Pot cigarettes. They're 11 inches long. Of course, we also make the king size. And now a word to our lady smokers. Smudge Pots, ladies, do not contain apple honey. If you want apple honey, get an apple honey. And now let's listen, folks, to what a tobacco warehouse man has to say about the tobacco that goes into Smudge Pot cigarettes.
If you all don't get that tobacco out of my warehouse, I'm going to call the Board of Health.
At auction after auction, the makers of Smudge Pots have put in the highest bids. So far, they have bought 800 watches, 35 sets of living room furniture, carpets, and drapes. If they ever go to a tobacco auction, brother, will we have a cigarette. And now your favorite detective program. Here he is, Sam Shovel, private detective.
Yes, I'm Sam Shovel. Sam Shovel, private detective. I'm grilling a suspect in my little office. Tell me, who killed Dave the Dip? I know you did it. Speak up. So you won't talk, eh? I'm trying to wring a confession out of him. Giving this guy the third degree don't do no good. He's been hit on the head with a rubber hose so much he don't get his hair cut no more. He just has his head retreaded. Looks good, too. He's got gray temples with white sidewalls. I've decided to forget about this guy. I got more important stuff to work on. The studio called me today. They want me to find Sidney Greenstreet. They can't find him. They looked everywhere. It seems he just disappeared into fat air. Well, back to work now. I'm on a very baffling case. I've been trying to find the solution, but I've been barking up the wrong tree. For weeks now, I've been barking up the wrong tree. I didn't solve the case, but I made friends with a very nice cocker spaniel. I've been getting a lot of new cases lately. Sam Shovel speaking.
Hello, Detective Shovel. This is Mrs. Fields. Did you trail my husband last night?
I did, Mrs. Fields. I'll read you the report. Your husband went to 3 nightclubs, 6 different bar rooms, 4 cocktail lounges. Then at 1 o'clock this morning, he drove up to Mulholland Drive.
My goodness, what was he doing?
Following you. Well, I guess I'll knock off work now for a few minutes and have my lunch. I've got a sandwich in my pocket. Ah, there it is, my favorite sandwich. Tuna fish salad with sliced tomatoes and pickles. Just dripping with mayonnaise. I'm going to eat this sandwich the hard way. The hard way. Without bread. Now for a smoke. I decide to light up a white owl. Putting down the white owl, I reach for a cigar. I got a slight cold this morning. When I came to the office, I blew my nose. Haven't seen it since. Wonder where I blew it. Well, it's about time for my pal, Lieutenant Abbott of the Homicide Squad, to show up. Lieutenant Abbott only has one weakness. When he takes a drink of bourbon, it goes to his head. It's got to go to his head. His body is filled up with scotch.
Hello, Sam. Sam, congratulate me. I just broke an important case.
Which case, Lieutenant?
Remember the crooks? Shack I broke into and found 50 gallons of green ink, a bundle of paper cut the size of dollar bills in a printing press?
Yes, that was 3 months ago.
Well, this morning, I convicted that crook of counterfeiting.
Brilliant work, Lieutenant. When did you first suspect he was a counterfeiter?
A year ago, he came into my office and confessed. Any other new cases, Sam?
Yes, last night I got a job guarding the bodies in the funeral parlor.
That must have been a pretty lonesome job.
Yes. I got so lonesome that I played gin rummy with one of the corpses.
You idiot. Corpse can't play gin rummy.
And how come I lost $18?
Talk sense, Sam. I got word today from the state prison that Melvin Hotrod, the reckless driver, goes to the electric chair at midnight tonight. You worked on that case, didn't you?
Yes, Melvin Hotrod knocked off 6 pedestrians in the safety zone. But they can't send him to the chair. I've got some new evidence that will prove him innocent.
What evidence?
I found out that Melvin didn't have a driver's license.
Then he's innocent, Sam. We've got to stop the execution. How can we do it?
I know one man that could save Melvin from the electric chair. Come on, Lieutenant. We're off to the state prison. Lieutenant Abbott and I arrived at the state prison. In this prison are confined the toughest criminals in the country.
Let me out of here! I want to get out of here!
Lieutenant, this is really a tough prison. Just listen to that guy.
Please get me out of here! I can't stand it! Let me out!
Sam, lots of guys in prison act that way. What makes you think this prison is so tough?
That's the warden.
Here's the guard captain's office, Sam. Let's go in.
Ah, nice to see you, Lieutenant Abbott. You too, Detective Shovel. All right, what's on your mind, boys?
Sam is here to see prisoner Melvin Hotrod.
Oh, yeah, goes to the chair tonight. We've got him in solitary. He's on Melba toast and water.
Don't you mean bread and water?
No, he's on a diet. All right, step this way, gentlemen.
Say, what's going in there?
Oh, those prisoners are working. They're making California license plates.
Why are they hitting them with hammers and bending them all up?
Well, today we're making license plates for Los Angeles drivers, and we'd like them to match the cars. By the way, what did you want to see prisoner Hotrod about, Mr. Shovel?
I'm here to stop the execution. You can't electrocute him.
Who says so? Have you an order from the governor?
I got a more important man than that who will stop you from electrocuting Hotrod. He'll be here in a minute.
This is ridiculous, Sam. Hotrod goes to the electric chair in 5 more minutes, and you can't stop this electrocution.
He's right, Sam.
Oh, yes? Here's my man now. He'll stop it.
I get here in time, Sam?
Wait a minute. Who is this guy?
He's the man that will stop you from electrocuting Hotrod. His name is Alec.
Alec who?
Electrician. He's from the light company.
From the light company.
You ain't paid your bill. In 3 months, and he's going to turn off your electricity. Get him out of here!
Before we say goodnight, Lou, why don't you tell the folks about your Sam Shovel story for next week?
Well, I will. Folks, next week my Sam Shovel case will be a mystery story. I call it the case of the beautiful red-headed lady cook who fell into a pot of boiling goulash. Oh, there's good stews tonight.
This great mystery is now being written by our writers. Our writing staff is headed by Eddie Foreman, with Paul Conlon, Pat Costello, Martin Ragaway, and Len Stirring.
And our producer is Charles Vander. See you next Thursday.
Good night, folks.
Good night, everybody. Patterson, good night.